As you mature, the old 9 reasons why individuals hatred. Growing older is a journey that is full with experiences of wisdom and important teachings. But as we age, our social dynamics and interactions can alter in unexpected ways occasionally, may perceive that other people have animosity or contempt toward you. Without a clear explanation, this can feel perplexing or even unpleasant. But knowing the root causes can provide clarity and guide you through particular circumstances involving grace. And in this piece, we shall examine wisdom. 9 reasons why individuals may covertly harbor animosity for you, as these observations are not intended to help you age, depress you, but to give you more power with the understanding to sustain significant relationships while maintaining your inner. If you like this video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and remember to subscribe and activate alerts so you never miss an update. One's envy as you get older and reflect on your life meticulously constructed, your accomplishments, connections, and acquired knowledge can accidentally make other people envious. This jealousy isn't always vocal or evident, out loud, but it might also show out subtly. Disparaging comments, chilly demeanors, or a not being acknowledged for the worth you bring this animosity frequently. Not because of what you did, but because of the fears or unmet expectations of your steadiness to people around you. Whether relationship, emotional, or financial issues may remind people of their own doubts. For instance, your financial stability following years of planning and saving could draw attention to someone else's financial battles. A long, happy marriage or strong family ties may cause remorse in those who have suffered from cracked relationships. Even the quiet assurance you've acquired by conquering life's difficulties can make people uncomfortable. Still fighting self-doubt. Key points to keep in mind. Is it your fault that they are envious? It is an expression of their inner. Your worth is not reflected in your hardships, but the pain of their bitterness can still seem intimate, particularly when it originates from those who are close to you. Throwaway remark that minimizes your accomplishments or a family's lack of recognition. Setting could cause you to doubt yourself, despite the fact that the knowledge you've acquired over the years, prepare you to deal with this. You realize with grace that you shouldn't control how other people feel. Try lowering your brightness to make people who are more at ease rather than react with humility and compassion acknowledge their emotions without bringing them to heart. This is not an excuse for the impoverished behavior, but it does entail remaining rooted in your own reality. Great Stoic Marcus Aurelius. A philosopher explained the significance of concentrating on the things we can control. Someone's envy cannot be changed, but you can decide whether to live or control your response. Celebrate your accomplishments in a genuine way, and respect the life you have created without "I apologize." Your accomplishments are evidence of your tenacity, and they don't have to have the lessened because another person feels uncomfortable. At last, look for those who truly honor you, whether it's friends, relatives, or neighbors. Be in the company of those who see your accomplishments and knowledge as a source of inspiration rather than rivalry. By concentrating on these significant connections, you keep your cool and carry on life with honor and sincerity that your path has gained. Let your life to be a peaceful but strong illustration of tenacity and grace is something to be grateful for. Irrespective of how other people view it. 2 misunderstandings and inefficiency. As you get older, communication. Communication barriers between generations can result in miscommunications. Even when you're with good intentions, the world you grew up in a plain and valued non-nonsense strategy. But younger, this could be interpreted as harsh by generations, or contemptuous, straightforward statements of advice, concerns, or opinions may arise. Is important or out of date, leaving you feel misinterpreted and they feeling defensive at the moment. Miscommunications frequently occur not because malice, but due to linguistic disparities. For example, tone and cultural setting, when you talk about your experiences in life or provide knowledge that younger people might consider it to be unwanted criticism of their decisions, as opposed to the careful direction you want to take. Or maybe a moment expressing resentment voiced rapidly could be interpreted as condemnation instead of worry over time. About these minor misunderstandings have the potential to escalate into obstacles separating you from the people you care about They might start to stay away from further discussions, presuming that you won't comprehend their viewpoint, or worse, thinking that you won't attempt. This emotional detachment can be lonely, forcing you to wonder where the disconnect started the process of conquering them. Misunderstandings occur in active empathy, and listening create a conscious endeavor to engage in dialogue with curiosity, posing queries rather than giving uninvited counsel. In a phrase like, "Tell me more about your perspective on it," can lead to a deeper comprehension and demonstrate your appreciation for their viewpoint, even if it is different from your. Likewise, if your remarks are, "Please take a time to clarify if this is unclear. Let me clarify that I didn't mean to." At the same time, don't be scared to explain, to communicate your emotions when you feel ignored or misunderstood. Quietly explaining your perspective can help build bridges. The divide and promote respect for one another. Acknowledge that these discussions are chances to connect rather than conflicts to triumph. By putting knowledge before being realized, that you can ease tensions and strengthen ties between generations, although not all miscommunication will be fixed for you. Efforts to connect and adjust will depart a lasting impression that serves as a reminder of your readiness to develop with them, even in your latter years. 3-year variations in the basic values as well as convictions as the years go by, your ideals when convictions become firmly established, influenced by decades of experience. These principles apply to both business and family. Social roles or faith are aspects of who you are. Yet in the quickly evolving world of today, younger generations around the world may hold very disparities in views, and these might lead to conflict and even wrath. You might appreciate diligence, discipline, and customs when they were youngsters. People value adaptability and creativity, or personal expression in a dialogue regarding work ethic, for example, could result in to anger when they see your dedication to strict structure, while you think their strategy is unrealistic or uncommitted. With comparable parenting views, social issues or marriage may clash, making both parties feel condemned, or these distinctions are misinterpreted as especially noticeable in a time of values in society are changing quickly. Your choices may no longer be guided by the standards that younger generations adhere to. When you share your viewpoint, it might feel as though their identity is being challenged, making them defensive, or even animosity. At the core of these conflicts are a fundamental reality that our experiences shape our ideals. You view the world from the perspective of your life as others perceive it. By their comprehension of this does not imply giving up your convictions, but acknowledging that their distinctions don't reduce your own unique strategy for resolving these conflicts. Is to approach discussions with curiosity as opposed to condemnation. Instead of arguing who is correct, attempt to find out why. As they perceive things, this doesn't implying that you must concur, but demonstrating curiosity about their viewpoint can encourage regard for one another, as well as having the tales and encounters that influenced your values can assist them understand your location. Approaching from keep in mind that you don't have to. Despite all the changes, certain beliefs might not change. Essentially opposed, and that's acceptable. Instead, concentrate on identifying points of agreement. Where possible, whether it's a mutual affection for family, a dedication to generosity, or these ideas with the hope for a better future, a linkage can span even the most divides. By accepting transparency and respect, you uphold your principles while making room for others to pay tribute. Innovative method, which not only improves connections, but also provides a legacy of gift comprehension. It cuts beyond generational boundaries and improves everyone's quality of life. For the impact of gossip and rumors among the tight-knit communities that frequently accompany aging, whether in a local retirement community or rumors and gossip among the extended family, can spread like a wildfire. Regretfully, these hushed tales frequently convey hollow realities or directly fabrications that could damage your reputation in interpersonal interactions. The damage resides not only in words, but also in the manner in which people readily accept and disseminate these stories that don't challenge their validity. Rumor frequently originates from other people. Boredom or fears. When people have little going on in their own lives, they occasionally concentrate on other people, falsifying information to produce drama or to feel that your case is important. The rumors may center on your previous decisions, financial situation, or even the connections you cherish, For instance, a neighbor may disseminate inflated tales about your way of life. Perhaps a relative could interpret you made a comment that made fueling unnecessary. Disagreement. The harm that rumor can be significant since it damages confidence and splits and makes you feel alienated or unjustly. Being judged can be very upsetting. When it concerns somebody you used to trust, you might see certain family members or friends, members behaving differently in your presence, their actions influenced by the untrue stories they've heard, instead of by the real you are both necessary to counteract gossip. Tenacity and a calculated approach first. Stay loyal to who you are, and your biggest strength is authenticity, protection from lies throughout time. People who know you well will see through the gossip and identify your integrity, then resist the need to take a defensive or counter GOP stance. Reacting with poise and respect instead of retaliation or fury serves to diffuse the circumstance and displays your ability to character. If a particular rumor gets you think about dealing with it head on with the individual disseminating it or with those impacted by it in a straightforward, calm explanation. I've been informed that this is being stated, but it's untrue, and here's why can significantly aid in dispelling falsehoods. But not all rumors require, in reaction, choose your battles carefully. Concentrating on keeping your peace and maintaining connections that actually matter. Keep in mind that rumors reveal more about more people disseminating it than it actually does about you. What they decide to concentrate on, their own negativity is reflected in insecurities that diminish your value. By preserving your moral character and remaining anchored, you demonstrate to others that their attempts do not undermine their character. To deliver you listing 5 personal fears and one of the subtlest projections, yet strong arguments that others may have. The source of their animosity toward you is their own. People frequently project their insecurities, concerns, uncertainty, and inferiority, complexes onto people nearby when they observe attributes in you that they don't have or challenges you've surmounted that they're continuing to struggle with. It can lead to a discomfort, comfort, or even this projection is particularly hostile. Typical as you get older, because your life frequently acts as an obvious benchmark for. For instance, if you've kept yourself healthy, those who are having bodily difficulties, limitations may experience jealousy or frustration in the same way, whether you've succeeded stability in finances or a close. It could emphasize family ties. The places where people believe they have fallen brief your achievement, whether deliberate or not, is able to function as a mirror, reflecting their struggles. Projection can also appear in how individuals respond to their worries of getting older and feeling insecure about. As they age, they may focus their annoyance at your unjust association, their fears in your company. They could casually remark on your age or disregard what you think, not because regardless of what you've done, but because your life serves as a reminder of their own worries about time passing too quickly. Comprehending this dynamic can be beneficial. You react with empathy rather than anger or annoyance when someone lashes out or appears far away. It's worthwhile to pause. Should consider whether their actions could originate from their internal conflicts instead of everything you've done. Understanding this does not imply forgiveness, harmful conduct, yet it can keep you from consuming it. In addition, individually, its setting limits is crucial if someone's projections and insecurities turn into a persistently negative source. It's acceptable to keep your distance from their energy defending. Your tranquility is not self-centered. It's an essential act of self-defense at times of, upon contemplation, remind yourself that you're not the object of resentment. You've put a lot of effort into becoming who you are. Today, as well as their unease with your resilience or success, is a reflection of their inner conflicts, not yours character by remaining rooted in reality, and you can handle these with kindness. Conversations with grace during the keeping your attention on the life you've constructed and the individual you've become 6 times less sympathetic and recognizing that aging can occasionally bring a startling lack of compassion from other people, particularly from people who don't use the time to comprehend your experiences. People frequently overlook the physical and emotional difficulties that occur with aging, which can result in miscommunications or even animosity. They might observe what you're doing or judgments made with a limited perspective without fully comprehending the situation of your For example, if you move at a go more slowly or take longer to complete choices, it could be interpreted as hesitancy or ineffectiveness instead of a natural adaptation to evolving conditions. Family members may believe that you're unwilling to adapt or reject your wisdom that is out of date and unappreciative the depth of expertise underlying your decisions from which these impressions frequently originate from ignorance or irritation rather than malice. However, they can still, a lack of empathy is especially hurtful. Noticeable when others don't put younger folks who put themselves in your position distracted by their hectic existence could not understand how their statements or behavior may come out as contemptuous. They may minimize the difficulties of handling loss or managing health, remaining socially active, without understanding how these factors have a profound impact on your everyday existence. This misunderstanding may result in emotional detachment that makes you feel underappreciated or invisible. It could even lead to partnerships under stress as you perceive it more difficult to relate to those who appear unconcerned about your experiences to try to close this gap, encouraging candid dialogue by sharing your viewpoint in a composed and truthful manner, assisting others in seeing the world through your eyes, for instance, rather than defensively responding to impatient elucidate why certain jobs take longer than others. Or effort, now a straightforward expression like, I thank you for your assistance, but I would like you to understand why it takes me longer to do this. Encourage empathy while acknowledging that you won't meet everyone with comprehension, and that's a fine environment. Limits with people who regularly disregard your experiences can safeguard your mental health. Be in the company of individuals who appreciate your insights, pay attention without passing judgment, and try to get in touch with you deeper. Understanding is the first step in developing empathy, and you can model it yourself. The more you urge others to follow suit, you approach conversations patiently, and generosity, the more probable you are to encourage deep and meaningful connections. Despite the fact that misinterpreting the seven competition and rivalry don't go away with age, instead, it frequently changes into more nuanced social circle dynamics, families, or even among longtime companions. The must contrast lives, whether in terms of accomplishments, well-being, or connections, can occasionally linger and become quiet. Nevertheless, this rivalry is frequently unsaid but profoundly felt, especially when you are seen by someone as more prosperous or satisfying than their own. For instance, a sibling may harbor envy of your kid's behavior, visit more frequently, or the financial. The security you've gained may be shared with a buddy. Contrast your deteriorating health with theirs, comparatively busy way of life, and feel resentment, even if it isn't expressed in social groups or retirement communities. Parallels between groups across hobbies, social status, or individual achievements can generate a subcurrent of rivalry. Or this feeling of competition frequently originates from insecurity. When individuals feel they're lacking in a few areas of their lives, they might seek someone to evaluate themselves in comparison to you. If you are the someone they believe is performing better, then you could end up being a silent target for their rivalries, and dissatisfaction can also result from long-standing relationships like siblings. Rivalries that date back decades of unsolved conflicts could reappear in subsequent years, driven by comparative sentiments about who has won. Even casual comments regarding your travel, pastimes, or familial ties can inadvertently elicit sentiments of inadequateness. In others, negotiating these dynamics demands a careful balancing act. On the one hand, it's critical to honor your accomplishments and lead a genuine life without feeling compelled to minimize. However, your happiness is displaying humility and respecting others. Strengths can ease tensions. A straightforward affirmation such as, I'm impressed by your continued activity in spite of obstacles, can make a big difference in reducing competition and encouraging reciprocal. If rivalry continues, remember to show respect yourself that another person needs to. The way they compete reflects their internal conflicts that make you unworthy. Do not have to participate in their comparisons or provide anyone with proof of anything. Instead, concentrate on creating helpful cooperative relationships, provide support instead of, rather than rivalry, and look for exchanges that put the connection first above comparability. By overcoming competition and maintaining focus on your personal journey can keep your dignity and tranquility. Your contentment and achievement are not lessened by the sentiments of others. They are evidence of the life you've created and the person you've developed into. Allow your let go and let deeds speak for themselves. Of any requirement to compete in exchange, it is true living a genuine life is the key to fulfillment. Not in gaining an implicit challenge or shade. The impact of social expectations. Society frequently places strict standards on how senior citizens should act in real life, or even consider when you decide to deviate from these norms, exhibiting boldness and exploring new passions, views, or adopting non-conventional decisions that may cause discomfort for others. This uneasiness could result in minor bitterness when your behavior challenges their opinions on how aging should appear. As though, for example, choosing to take up a new pastime or construct a new relationship or adopt an unexpected adventure could be criticized or criticism. Others could wonder why you're not fitting into the conventional picture of a reserved retiree who is silent. Why is they might wonder why she's doing that at her age. Concealing their discomfort with contemptuous remarks, this animosity frequently surfaced. Since your selections emphasize the restrictions that they have placed on themselves, observing your life genuinely can serve as a reminder of their own lost chances or the methods they've given into peer pressure. Without doubting their bravery to breaking free can be motivating as well as dangerous to people who feel confined by their own decisions. It's important to keep in mind that you don't have to bear the load of discomfort. Living genuinely and going after what brings you happiness is not just your entitlement, but essential to living a happy life. You've merited the liberty to mold your years based on your values, but someone else's expectations simultaneously. You can handle these situations with grace. Explain without being defensive. Calmly from your point of view, if the chance to discuss how these making decisions improves your life and makes it obvious. That your behavior isn't rebellious, but with a sincere wish to embrace living completely. In the end, your life is just you and other people's expectations. Though they could persist, they don't define your path by remaining loyal to who you are. Provide a model for individuals in your vicinity that following your heart is something you can do at any time. And lead a genuine life. Your bravery can encourage others to think for themselves lives and possibly push the boundaries they've put themselves through. 9. The absence of acknowledgement as one of the most profound kind of. The source of resentment is the perception that being disregarded or underappreciated as you age, your donations may your household, neighborhood, or even society people may take things for granted. Presume that your efforts have the sacrifice tools you've constructed, or the lessons you've learned are just no longer a portion of the background. Needing recognition in familial contexts can be extremely painful. And you might have had a crucial part in boosting kids, helping out loved ones, or preserving the family unit just to feel neglected as adult children in later life, absorbed in their own hectic life. Do not forget to show appreciation or take the time to pay attention to you. Your grandchildren might perceive you as aloof figure as opposed to a wealthy person. Many tales and teachings to impart in the absence of social or professional networks of acknowledgement may also sting if you were praised in the past for your work or contributions to the community that you may feel neglected now that you're out of the spotlight. It's simple to perceive even though your worth has decreased just because others are blind, although acknowledgement doesn't always must originate from outside sources, although it's normal to crave approval. Particularly from those closest to you, discovering contentment in your own perception of objective is crucial. Consider your path and the influence you've had. Even if others are unable to articulate their gratitude for the worth of your contributions, are not lessened by the absence of acknowledgement that stated candid communication can aid in closing the distance. If you feel gently without acknowledgement, share your sentiments with the people who are most important too. For instance, letting your family know that I'd love to provide a few tales of what I've life lessons can foster connections. Without gratitude, most people aren't purposefully contemptuous. They might just want to be reminded of how much you insights and experiences that mean to above all. Remember to celebrate who you are. Be proud of the life you've led, the affection and the lessons you've learned. You've acknowledged your own value, and be in the company of those who see and value the distinctive contributions. You enrich their lives by accepting your worth and leading a purposeful life. You is able to surpass the state of being ignored and delight in the legacy. You keep on establish a welcoming peace and genuineness in the end. The negative people's feelings toward you frequently have little to do with your actual self and more related to their inner challenges. You are not accountable for them. To alter other people's emotions, but you possess the ability to influence how you react. Put empathy ahead of annoyance, self-worth over uncertainty, and relationship over seclusion, and an emphasis on leading a genuine life inspired by the principles and knowledge that have supported you throughout your life. Rejoice your accomplishments, embrace your uniqueness, and foster the connections that make you happy and satisfaction. Let go of the necessity to satisfy everyone or follow outmoded expectations rather than allowing your behavior to represent your true self. A strong, kind, and your legacy isn't decided by your resilience, by the ephemeral views of others, but by the wisdom, love, and inspiration you abandon, live with assurance and purpose. Understanding that your life is full of its struggles and victories tell a tale. At this point, it's worth celebrating the best present you could ever give yourself is the liberty to be who you are without apology, establishing harmony for both yourself and motivation for people who actually view your. These teachings are intended to motivate. You must now live completely and truly. Please take a moment to speak with me, to think back on and share one thing that you have discovered and intend to use in your own. Let's help each other through this life path to accepting these truths. Please let me know if you like this video. If not, feel free to post a remark with one. Feel free to leave a comment with no criticism. It's very important to us, so please remember to like, please subscribe to, and share our YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Thank you for viewing and happy living. Living according to your own terms.